everybody. Okay, so I'm back with another K-drama to see, have you already seen it? And if not, is this something that you would check out? So before we get into the video, you already know the drill. Like this video, follow me for more, and share this with someone that you know that would be into K-dramas. So let's get started. The name of today's K-drama is called I Hear Your Voice, or I Can Hear Your Voice. As the show starts, we see a father and a son driving, and the father is essentially saying, hey, do you want to stop and grab pizza? Like, where's the coupon that we received? You know, it's a father and a son bonding. And as they're getting ready to go through the intersection, which is a green light for them, a truck, you know, the K-drama Truck of Doom, comes plowing out of nowhere and slams into their car. Now, you would think that that's bad enough. The boy is barely conscious. His father's making sure that he's okay. You see the truck driver climb out, right? The truck driver walks over to them, and he's not saying anything out loud, but the boy, now, something causes him to be able to hear this man's inner thoughts. And essentially, he hears the man saying, oh, that didn't do the trick. I gotta end this. So he goes into the car and he grabs, I would say, like a pipe, and he starts beating or unaliving the little boy's dad. As he's getting ready to walk around to the other side of the car to finish off the kid, you hear a phone go off and it says, say cheese or smile in Korean. I can't remember which of the two. And that causes the truck driver now to flee from the scene, where he starts running after whoever it was that was taking the picture. And in this time, it appears that, you know, the police show up and they take the boy in. Obviously, the father is deceased. Now, the boy, he does not have the ability to speak, but he has been writing it down and letting the doctors know, no, I know who it was that did it. I'm trying to tell you, like, I know who it was that did it. So we get another perspective of this. Show then fast forwards 10 years into the future, where we see that the boy is essentially a high schooler. I believe he's in his senior year. And the girl is like I want to say she's like a new lawyer, but kind of like a barely making it lawyer. Her business is failing bad. And her mom suggests to her that she goes for the position of, I believe, like a state defender or a public defender, sorry. In going to become a public defender, at least she's guaranteed to make way more income than what she's making now. As she's, you know, getting ready to go to her interview, they're essentially asking her, like, what is it about you that makes you want to, you know, take this job on? And she's very, like, brutally honest, and she says the money. Then she starts, you know, like, rehearsing everything that she had stolen from the man that was sitting beside her that she had no interest in talking to. She stole his notes, studied his notes, used his notes for her interview. Now, I would say the people interviewing her, they're kind of saying, hey, there's really nothing special about you. Every person here interviewing for a public defender has the same traits. Everybody wants money. Like, what makes you stand out? So she begins telling them a story. Now, in this story, it was back a couple years ago when she was in high school, and she was out with like her friends, and they had, I would say, like fireworks. And one of the girls, her firework was not working, and she like turns to it and she's like shaking it, and it fires and it launches at another girl's eye. Everybody runs over to the girl whose eye was, you know, injured, and they're essentially like, are you okay? Are you okay? She's standing there with her unlit firework in her hand, and she's just like, what do I do with it now? So the girl is at the hospital, and now the one who has the injured eye is saying, does anybody know who did this to me? The girl that was beside her says, oh, I saw who did it. It was her, the main female lead. And the main female lead, she goes and she's like telling her mom, she's just like, I didn't do it. I didn't even light my firework. The mom is refusing to believe her. The mom is just like, I know that you're, you know, like you are a delinquent essentially. So this is really not outside of your realm. And she's explaining to her mom, listen, I may be horrible, but I'm not that bad. Like, I'm not bad. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I may not like listen, but I'm not bad enough to like hurt someone. And so the mom eventually starts to believe her. As time progresses, she goes to confront the girl who essentially like framed her. In going to confront the girl, that's when she has the fireworks and everything with her, and she says, well, you better come clean, or else, you know, I'm going to do something to your other eye, since you claimed I did something to your original eye. While the two of these young teenage girls are essentially arguing about, you know, this lie, pretty much that was told on the other girl, they hear a slam. And then they rush to the scene, and that's when they see the truck driver with the pipe unaliving the young boy's father. And as he goes around to the boy, we see that it was this girl who had taken the picture that helped save that young boy's life. So now it's in the future time, as she's telling, you know, these like people interviewing her, and she says that her and that girl kind of make, like, I would say, a deal where they say, okay, I dare you to show up to the court and speak out about what just happened, and I'll tell my dad that I was lying. And then she says, I'll go, but you need to come with me. So the two of them get to the door, and they're about to open the door, and that's where our girl who's interviewing kind of cuts the story short. So now the interviewer's like, what happened? What happened? Did you go in? Did you tell? What ended up happening? And she says, I'm not going to tell you unless you hire me. And that's essentially how our girl gets her job as a public defender. Now, when she does get hired, she ends up finishing, you know, telling the story, and that's when we learn she does still go in through the courtroom. Her friend does not go through the courtroom, and when she speaks up, she essentially says that she has proof. She was there. She saw the guy unaliving the little boy's dad and getting ready to unalive the little boy. And the prosecutor essentially calls her, I guess the defendant essentially calls her a liar and says that she has no proof. Are we just going to take the word of a teenage girl? So then she says, she lifts up her phone. She's very scared at this point because this man had just threatened her and the other girl, saying, if you guys speak a word of this, I'm gonna y'all next, okay? So she lifts up her phone and she shows that she had a picture of it. And now the man who's on trial, he gets so enraged, he leaps over the table or the desk that he's sitting behind and starts strangling the girl. And that's really all they needed to believe. Yeah, okay, you did it. Because why would you just attack this girl if this was a lie? You obviously did it. Then they look at the photo or the evidence and they're like, yeah, he definitely did it. So he ends up going away to jail. And in going away to jail, he essentially vows, yeah, when I get out, I'm coming for you, and I'm gonna get rid of y'all because I told both of you that if you ever spoke a word about what happened, that I was coming to get you. And so now we go back to present time, which is like, I guess, 10 years in the future. And the girl, her ad, or I guess the fact that she got hired as a public defender, gets put in the newspaper. And so now this boy who's a senior in high school, he sees her and he's essentially like, wow, like, oh my God, I can't believe like I found her. I had promised her when he was a child, hey, like, I know this man said that he's gonna come and hurt you. And she said that she's scared, right? He said, but don't worry, I'm gonna protect you. So now fast forward, he's a senior in high school, I think he's like 19 or so. And he sees her and he's getting ready to save her. He's getting ready to protect her because now he knows what she looks like. Now he knows, what her name is and everything. But he's not the only person who saw this ad. The unaliver, who is in jail, preparing to leave jail, sees this too. And so now he starts plotting to get her because he told her, I was coming to get you. So definitely let me know if you have already seen this, how you felt about this K-drama. If you haven't already seen it, let me know if this is something that you would check out. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you've already seen it, definitely let me know in the comment how you felt about it. If you haven't seen it, definitely let me know if this is something that you would check out. Thank you so much for watching. Okay, thanks. Bye.